The Supreme Court has decided to keep almost all of Obamacare intact.
The Supreme Court basically said that the Congress has the power to indirectly regulate just about anything they want as long as they call it a tax. About the only good news on the taxing part of it is that it is still a little bit difficult to pass certain taxes, more difficult than it is to pass regulations. So you will have some political pushback if there is an attempt to use this new taxing power to as a backdoor means of regulating industry or personal behavior.
This is perhaps the most intrusive move the government has made in our time.
I think the one big question is what is the limiting principle of the taxing power in the new world that we now have? What can Congress tax and what can't it tax? I think that's an open question.
Decades ago, the medical profession was a very different world.
It was like most everything else. You wanted to go to the doctor, you went to the doctor. You paid the doctor $7.50 for an appointment. He would tell you what you need. You got a prescription, you'd go to the drugstore and you'd get the prescription. And I'm not talking about wealthy people, I'm talking about everyday people.
Government intervention in the world of medicine changed it forever.
July 30th, 1965, President Lyndon Johnson, accompanied by Harry Truman, who first tried to get this scheme in, signed the Medicare bill. He announced that this would cost $1.50 a month out of your taxes, out of your Social Security tax. And then once you got 65, you'd pay $3 a month. And all of your medical care would be taken care of. How did that work out for us? I'd say not very well. Because I recall what medicine was like before 1965, and I can tell you it was much better, much less scary, and much cheaper.
Slowly, this industry morphed into something else. By the 1990s, there was talk of more government intervention.
We had Hillary Care, which was as bad as Obamacare. It was defeated, and the Democrats were defeated in the very next election. Now, during the Obamacare debate, Obama said to his fellow Democrats, the reason they lost after Hillary Care was that they never passed it. If you pass it, we'll do just fine.
Other countries were showing us how socialized medicine would look.
Every place socialized medicine has been put in place, it's been a disaster. And they know it. The system is okay for the first few years because it lives off the carcass of the free system. But once that's gone, you get rationing, you get unavailable care. You get, in Canada, for instance, if you want an MRI, go to a veterinarian.
So where does our health care go from here? Will people be able to get treatment they need in 5 years?
I think anyone who's taken a hard look at this act would be hard-pressed to really believe that it improves health care. The bill itself was hundreds and hundreds of pages long. It's highly intrusive into the market. It distorts the market in a wide variety of ways. It makes it more expensive for employers and individuals. It's going to lead to shortages, etc.
It makes one wonder if Obamacare can really be challenged again.
The Supreme Court didn't say that the entire act is constitutional. They were only dealing with the challenges that were before it. The bulk of the problem is going to have to be dealt with politically through the Congress. Is Congress going to repeal this tax, as it now has been termed, or are they going to let it stand?
Reporting from Washington, Frank McCaffrey.